Some children carry backpacks that are too heavy. Not school bags, not books. The invisible weight of problems that were never theirs to carry, but somehow became theirs anyway. While other children played, this child worked. While others were protected, this child protected. While others were held, this child learned to hold everything together alone. Many adults carry a quiet grief they can't quite name, a vague feeling that something was missing in their childhood, something they can see in photographs but can't quite remember feeling. Some children never get to be children, and the adults they become carry that truth, quietly, deeply, often without ever fully understanding why they feel the way they do. It looks like a child sitting with adult bills, an 8-year-old understanding the word eviction, a 10-year-old knowing exactly how much money is left in the account, adult information in a child's mind with nowhere to put it. It looks like a child standing between two parents, tiny arms stretched wide, trying to hold a peace that wasn't their responsibility to keep. The family's emotional thermostat, set and maintained by someone who should have been playing outside. It looks like the oldest child who became the parent, who fed, soothed, protected, and raised siblings while still needing someone to do the same for them. The child who parented before they were parented. It looks like a child who absorbed everything, every argument, every financial stress, every emotional crisis, like a sponge. Hypervigilant, always reading the room, always preparing for the next emergency that somehow always came out. These children learn to see themselves as the adult version first, the responsible one, the stable one, the one who holds it together. The child inside, curious, playful, needing, was quietly set aside, sometimes permanently. Even in school, the one place that should have been safe, their mind never fully arrived because the adult world followed them everywhere. Worry doesn't respect classroom walls. They became exceptional performers of okay. They learned very young that their real feelings made things harder for everyone around them. So they masked, they managed, they minimized, and they became very, very good at it. They learned to reach for fine instead of sad, for I'm okay instead of I'm breaking. Their emotional vocabulary was shaped not by what they felt, but by what was safe to feel around the people they needed most. They learned to grieve quickly, to feel the loss, file it away, and move on, because stopping wasn't safe, because needing comfort wasn't always an option, because the only reliable person in their world was themselves. And then they grew up. Their body got bigger. Their responsibilities got more official. But the expression never changed. Always watchful, always serious, always braced for what comes next. The childhood stayed missing from the timeline. And here is what that childhood creates in the adult they become. Anxiety that never fully turns off. People-pleasing that feels like survival. Difficulty trusting. Fear of abandonment. Emotional numbness, and a need to control the one thing they never could as a child, their environment. That they want connection deeply, but intimacy terrifies them because they learned early that the people you need most are also the people who can hurt you most. So they keep one foot out the door, just in case. They became experts at self-soothing, at sitting with their own pain quietly without asking for help. Because asking for help felt dangerous once. And the nervous system doesn't forget what was once dangerous. even after the danger is long gone. They are often the first to notice when someone else is struggling. Their nervous system was trained from childhood to scan for pain in others. They became caretakers professionally, relationally, emotionally, because that was the role that kept them safe. They live between two versions of themselves, the child they should have been and the adult they were forced to become. Neither feels completely real. They belong to both and fully to neither. And that gap, that in-between, is where so much of their grief quietly lives. And sometimes, even now, when the world gets too heavy, their body finds its oldest posture, knees to chest, arms around themselves, the child's position. Because the body remembers what the mind has spent years trying to process. Healing for this person begins with one specific act: seeing the child they were with clear, compassionate eyes. Not the capable, responsible, adult functioning child, the actual child. Small, overwhelmed, doing their absolute best with nothing adequate to work with. And then, gently, without rushing, picking that child up, holding them, telling them what they needed to hear then and never did. You were too young for this. This was not your job. You did enough. You are safe now. Understanding is the first medicine. When you understand why you are the way you are, the hypervigilance, the people-pleasing, the emotional walls, it stops feeling like a character flaw and starts feeling like a survival strategy that worked then and can be gently updated now. Look at yourself with the same compassion you would give a child, because that is what you are looking at. A child who did something extraordinary, who held a world together that adults couldn't, who survived something that was never supposed to be theirs to survive. Healing happens in safe connection. Finding one person, a therapist, a trusted friend, a community, where you can lower the mask without consequence, where your real feelings are met with care instead of burden. This is how the nervous system begins to learn, finally, that safety is real. You are allowed to put the backpack down now. The problems you carried as a child, they were never yours to carry. And the strength you built carrying them is real and yours. But the carrying, that part is finished. You can set it down. You can give yourself now what you never received then. Patience, gentleness, permission to not have it all together, permission to need things, permission to be a work in progress. The adult you are can parent the child you were, and that changes everything. If this video found you today, it was not an accident. If you recognized yourself in these words, in this story, I want you to hear this directly. What happened to you was not your fault. How you survived it was not a mistake. And healing is not only possible, it is already beginning. Did you grow up too fast? Did any of this describe your childhood, your adult life, your quiet grief? Tell us in the comments. You are not alone in this, and writing it down, even once, is a form of being finally gently seen. Your childhood may have ended too soon. Your healing does not have to. You are not too old. You are not too damaged. You are not too far gone. You are exactly the right person in exactly the right moment to begin.